Think about that before you start doing things that are going to hurt yourself. It's like going to the doctor, being sick and telling the doctor, let me get a little bit better first before I come see you. When it comes to your credit, get the right information so that you don't have to do double the work. Sometimes people pay things off that are older than 24 months, and then when they report it to the credit bureau, because you hear about all these things and do these dispute letters and things, if you owe somebody, you owe somebody. That's the only way to take care of it. Deal with it, negotiate a plan, follow a plan that works with your spending plan or your budget, and make sure that the stuff is fixed permanently. There are no quick fixes to credit, and nobody can fix your credit but you. Here's the thing. Credit is the best representation of how you handle your debt or your liability, how you manage your debt. It's a shortcut way, because most people in my industry, when I tell you, I say, the concept of lending, people think that based on how good you look, we would provide you with finances. Do you know 85% of people disqualify themselves from the very beginning, not realize? Here's an example. You go to the bank, and you sit down at the bank, and you talk out your plan. This is what we're going to say. This is what we're not going to say. This is what we're going to show. This is what we're not going to show. If he asks you, honey, let me ask you. That's exactly what you say. And you sit down, and the person says, well, how much is your house payment? Well, your house payment is $1,200. You say $1,500. Well, how much is your car payment? Your car payment is $250. $500. Any credit cards? Well, credit cards might be $30. You say, I pay $100 a month. More people in my industry are taught how to do their job, but not why they do their job. What you have just done is disqualified yourself, because we were taught that regardless of what we receive on paper, you know your situation better than we do. And you're thinking, he's got my credit report. He's looking at my stuff. He knows that my car payment is $250 and I paid $500. I'm paying more than what he's asking and what they're asking. I'm really no risk. They should be able to give me the money. All that person is entering that data and says, wow, looks like you don't qualify. You say, why? And it's like, I don't know, but you can get a copy of your credit report and give you a card. 85% of people make that mistake. When it comes to, I say the truth will set you free. When it comes to giving your financial information, give exactly what you pay. Because that's how they're making a determination. If you're going to have, if you make $2,000, bring home $2,000 a month, and you've just inflated everything, and it's $2,500, there's no way that you can afford anything. Sorry, you can't get your approval. That has happened even to me when I go through, and you have to talk somebody through the process. When you're dealing with credit, like I said, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. A late in your 6 month period, like I said, credit doesn't exist until you request it. From the day that you request your credit, and you get your credit report, if you have a late in that 6 month period from the time it was pulled, that represents 85% of your score. Because they say it's an 85% chance that within the next 90 days you will be late again. Think about it. If you just made it through January's bill, we just scraped by. And you just made it through February's bill, woo, we just made it by. And then March, we're late. Have you ever had anybody just be late on one bill? So it's a domino effect. And the moment that you get late, everybody says, well, let's get some financing, and maybe we can get caught up with just going through a bad time. And they pull your credit, and they show that you've been late. They shut your score down so you can't get your finance. So on one hand, they're trying to protect you. On the other hand, it sort of works against you. They say if you have a late within a 12-month period, that's about 10% of your credit score, because they said the likelihood of you being late within the next 90 days in a 12-month period is 10% chance. And then after 12 months, it's 4%. So anything past 24 months is only 1% of your score. So a lot of times when I give a person a credit report, or we do a credit counseling session, I don't give you a credit report first, because you get so focused on it. You hear all the stories, the horror stories, and I'm telling you, pay attention to exactly what I'm telling you to pay attention to on your credit report. And you're looking at it, and a lot of people don't know how to read your credit report, even though they're in my industry or in our industry. You're disqualifying yourself all the time. You look at it and say, it's got to be this bill from 1996. You first say, sure it is. That probably could be it. here, take this card and get a copy of your credit report. If you work on that, you know, you can probably get better credit scores and maybe we can help you later. Let somebody else tell you exactly what you need to do. Things that are older than 24 months, they need to be paid off for the purpose of getting your finance, but it's not necessary that we report it to the credit bureau, because what you're going to do is take something that's outside of your 24-month period, bring it into your 6-month period, and now it's shown as a paid collection or a paid bad debt. Yeah, it's paid, but it wasn't in your window before, but you brought it in, and now your score is down. And people call me and say, well, we paid everything off, and now our score is even lower. Yeah, I know. Because you didn't do it the right way. Okay.
So if you have something that's past 24 months, you said you need to pay it, so when will you pay it?
Outstanding. You have different levels of reporting credit. You have the credit bureau level, you have the credit reporting level. So when it comes to financing, you can't have anything past due, any collection like that. So even if it's 3 years old, 5 years old, you still may have to have it paid off, but we won't report it to the credit bureau. We will report it to the credit reporting company. They're licensed and bonded to represent the credit bureau, and we can get an updated credit report, and it doesn't affect your credit score. Now, the moment that you send a dispute letter or something to the credit bureau, now you've updated your information, and you pull that negative old information into your current window. Here's the thing about inquiries people didn't realize. They say, you know, I don't want too many inquiries on my credit. And I say, well, the credit bureau, nothing controls credit, credit controls everything. There's no legislation for credit. They got the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but that's just like a sort of how to be good type guideline for the credit bureau. So, when it comes to reporting your information, I lost my train of thought. But when it comes to reporting, the inquiries on your credit report. When a person scores your credit report, they say you have 14 days to make a decision. 100 people before your credit report, and you'll get the same information, the same credit score, and it'll be considered one inquiry. Because they say the average consumer makes a major financial decision within 2 weeks, hence the 14-day period. Now, on the 15th day, somebody pulls your credit, it's the second inquiry. Now, 3 to 5 inquiries will affect your credit score 8 to 20 points. But if you're doing them at 2 week spans, you have bigger issues than just getting copies of your credit report. Don't subscribe to the services. Here's another thing. You say, well, I got my credit score. I got it from creditreport.com, or I got it from myfico.com. The credit bureaus lease those. They lease the scoring modules from Fair Isaac because they couldn't contain and calculate and track all the data. They said, hey, we got an equation called the FICO score or your Beacon score or your Beacon 97. It's a calculated module to give you your credit score. And they lease it and pass the cost on to you. That's why a lot of people can get their credit report online and get it free. But then you have to pay when you want to score or buy some other service. And then you'll be able to get your score. Now, public opinion. It used to be anytime anybody pulls your credit report, that was an inquiry. You had those issues with the inquiry, but then they changed it. So what do you think they do with the old scoring model? They lease them and sell them to MyFICO, creditreport.com. So those scoring modules online aren't accurate. They're close. If you got a 617 online, or a 621 credit score online, and then I pull it and it's a 617, that's really close.
Why is it different than the mortgage company score versus the person score? Why is it different? Because scores are not really the same.
Exactly. Because the people that you're buying your scores from, or getting your score from, they're using an outdated version of the FICO score. So you'll see on your credit report, it may say FICO version 2, or it'll say the Beacon Classic 97, or the FICO 2004. Those are updated versions. So they put the old ones on the market so that they can then charge you for it and give you a roundabout. But if now you say, well, I'm good, I got a 621 credit score, and I get your credit report in 617. People always say, well, who did you get your credit from? I said, from the 3 main bureaus. No, I got credit alerts. I got credit lock. Stop paying for those services. They are money makers. None of them are designed to help you. So, when it comes